Well, hey, y'all. It is the Saturday after Black Friday. I guess this is supposed to be Small Business Saturday. Well, I'm not shopping at a small business. I'm about to go into Sam's Club, and the place is rocking. It's packed. Back in the day, this was the time where you'd go get something for your kid, right? My kid's 35. I'm not getting anything for him today at Sam's Club. But I get him something. I don't know what though. Anyway, he makes his own money. He can get his own things, and he gets his Christmas gifts throughout the year that he buys. In any case, I was scrolling, and I saw this. It was on LinkedIn. And the caption was that we need to remove all the laptops from schools because studies say that kids learn better when they write down the notes, when they use a handwriting. So I went, oh, here we go again. Educational studies say this, educational studies say that. Every week, a new report drops like it's the gospel. Kids learn best when you make them sit still, follow the chart. Meanwhile, the real world's over here yelling, hey, genius, everybody is wired differently. Everybody is wired differently. But somehow that message never makes it through the thick skulls of people who are running our school districts. Here's the deal. And with Christmas knocking on the door, the parents are about to get a front row seat to the truth educators refuse to admit. There is no one-size-fits-all method of learning. Period. Not the way that kids are doing it now, not the way you did it back in the 50s or the 60s or the 70s or not. No. I know how you did it. And it might have worked for you. But you know what? I can guarantee there were 3 kids in your classroom that it didn't work for. So let me bring this home with something personal. Growing up, taking notes for me was a lost cause because it wasn't because it was hard. It wasn't a struggle. It was a lost cause. My handwriting looked like a ransom letter composed by a man throwing a temper tantrum. It's like I was writing with my feet. And if I had been paying closer attention to my handwriting, then I'm not paying attention to what's going on in class, right? And to make things worse, that was pre-glasses. I couldn't see. So you know what happened? I learned to listen. I learned to listen. So I could hear you. Now, the cool thing would have been if I had had a device to record what the teacher was saying. Wow. What a godsend that would have been. What a godsend that would have been. If I could have just listened to what they said later. If I could have been paying attention while they were saying it, and then my review would have been listening to it again. Because it was the only way that I could really retain what was going on. Now, I don't need a video. I just needed audio. If I was in school now, I would be the kid who needed their cell phone. Why? Because I would have been using the voice recorder. I need it. As a matter of fact, I probably would have gotten a 504 or an IEP that said I could have my cell phone, that you couldn't take my cell phone from me because I need it. I'm recording the lesson. That way I could see it later, or I could listen to it later. Now I know there will be, this whole, because this is what got me into this. This whole idea that, well, those kids shouldn't have cell phones in class. Why do the children need cell phones in class? I needed a voice recorder. Unless you provide me with a voice recorder. Or you can just let me have my cell phone. You don't need to go through the whole deal of buying, a voice recorder for me and going through the whole process of sending it out for bids and then have me sign one. You can just let me have my cell phone. I know how to use a voice recorder on my cell phone. Good to go. And I know it violates everybody's privacy. It's a risk. I needed to hear it. I needed to hear it. Again. I don't know. It means for me, I'm a musician, so it's just like practice. I need to do it again. But our education system will not budge. Not at all. They cling to this fantasy of the, quote, approved method is the holy method. Well, until it changes. And the kids pay the price. So as you're settling in for Christmas break, and I know that your kid's about to be on vacation, and you're preparing for second semester and all that stuff, and some of y'all are looking at first semester grades and how you're going to improve them and all this stuff. Especially if you have little kids, try not to badger them in any way into changing how they learn stuff. Try to figure out how they learn stuff. Do they learn stuff better by touching and doing, or do they learn stuff better by listening, or do they learn better by watching? Try to figure out how they learn best, and then let them be really good at that. What things match their brain, and try to find the tool that matches their brain. That may be their cell phone. It might be. I don't know. Might be. Try to figure it out. Because learning is personal. And that's not new with kids being soft and parents being soft. This is not soft parenting. It's just good parenting.